On today's show, we've got some rock and roll and some bad behaviour. Now, while you might say it's nice weather for the ducks, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a wee bit sick of waiting my wellies. So early in the week, I went to find out how the delightful Scottish weather can benefit us all.
Our climate in Scotland is constantly changing to become wetter and wilder. The changing climate is a direct result of greenhouse gas emissions, and although these have fallen considerably in the last decade, Scotland still produces around 11% of the UK's greenhouse gases. But it's not all bad. The Scottish Executive recently estimated that Scotland could satisfy 75% of the UK's energy needs through renewable energy projects. According to the renewable energy industry, this is an optimistic target.
It's important to understand that the 75% figure is a theoretical figure. There is certainly potential to do that, but in terms of realising the potential for renewables in Scotland, it has set targets. It set a 18% of our electricity demand to be met by renewables by 2010, and also 40% by 2020. And these targets have been very useful in actually encouraging the renewables industry to get going and start developing new projects.
There are currently 152 renewable energy projects operating in Scotland today, the most successful of which are in hydro, wave and wind technologies. But these are all on a large scale. What's being done at a community level to help reduce carbon emissions?
FEE stands for Finchley Renewable Energy Enterprise, with the aim of making the village carbon neutral. The first project we've been involved with, which has taken about 2 or 3 years, is part ownership of a nearby wind farm on the hills. There's really been a change in how people recognise the threat that climate change really is. So here's an opportunity for people in the village who kind of felt that renewable energy was a good thing to actually get directly involved with it. You know, Scotland is blessed with kind of huge natural resources, and therefore is an ideal place for renewable energy to be developed.
If you wanted to design a country that was good at renewable energy, you would come up with Scotland. I'm confident that the Scottish people will take great pride in the renewable energy technologies that are being developed.
With hundreds more projects planned, the forecast is bright for Scottish renewable energy.
Well, we've had a lot of emails from you in our next subject. We sent Alan to find out about the growing problem of antisocial behaviour, how big a problem it actually is, and what's being done to stop it.
As a country, we seem to be almost frightened now of our teenagers. That's what the papers tell us, and this does seem to be the position, that rightly or wrongly, we get slightly twitchy.
Twitchy's only the half of it. It seems kids run the streets at night and no one's doing anything about it. Antisocial behaviour, a modern menace. But what is it? What are we so afraid of?
So to find out a bit more about antisocial behaviour, I'm here to speak to MSP Margaret Jemison, who's done a lot of work in the area, and I'm going to ask about the causes and ways antisocial behaviour can be tackled.
Far removed from the scenes of vandalism and graffiti Margaret is fighting, we sat down to discuss the problem and any solutions the Scottish Executive is offering.
Well, antisocial behaviour takes many forms and it affects different individuals across communities. We can have, as we've seen recently, large groups of individuals in Cowdenbeath, or we could have someone who continually has a noisy party. It depends on the tolerance of the community as well. In some instances, individuals may well be very frightened.
Young men, youths, causing trouble, being aggressive.
Some of the current methods in place to help combat antisocial behaviour in Scotland today are mediation services, victim support services, noise nuisance teams, community wardens.
Community wardens have a wide-ranging patrol list of responsibilities. They conduct a uniform foot patrol in certain areas, observing, monitoring and reporting on all aspects of antisocial behaviour. One which is currently most in the public eye, I think, is the disruption and disorder caused by public drinking, particularly younger people at weekends.
Just recently I was out with the local police looking at their hotspots and the hotspots that had been identified to me by constituents, and I was absolutely appalled in the number of young people that were out, and young people age of 14 to 15, particularly young women, who were taking alcohol. They had the remnants of what was left of their butt fast,
So why drink in the street? Young people in both Scotland spoke to said that there simply isn't anything for them to do. A fact the general public recognises.
They don't have jobs, there's nothing for them to do in the evening, they just hang around, there's no encouragement for them to go and better themselves.
I think one of the problems is that they don't really have much to do.
So kids in Scotland, they've got nothing to do except hang out at places like this. So perhaps instead of being so afraid of them, we should find them something to do that isn't drinking this.
Well, as usual, Ellen gets all the fun jobs. Let's see what she got up to this week.
Glasgow is the heart of Scotland's gigging scene. Some of the world's most famous bands have played here. But where do new Scottish bands come to find an audience?
Soundhouse is Glasgow's only alternative, and that's what we pride ourselves on. We realised that there's a lot of local talent around, and we had rehearsals rooms anyway.
I spoke to a local band who benefited from the Soundhouse.
Well, me and Dan have been writing for about 2 years. Craig finally joined the band in February and started playing the drums. A few bass players coming in with the band, but Lewis has been in for a couple of weeks now and he's playing well.
I think, like any first gig, it kind of gave us a chance to show our fans what we were like. It's a big difference between a recording and a live show, so it completely broadened our audience, gave us a chance to start playing to new people.
I thought it was really good for a first gig, and that sound in there was pretty decent, so it was pretty good today.
The club was never started out as a profit-making venture. It was just people needed a place to do things. The profit does come in, but it just goes right back into the building. So we're just going to keep on doing that. You know, I mean, I had a guy from XFM Radio get in touch with me recently. He used to be a member here 5 years ago, and now they want to come to a night here because they're just blown away with the changes that we've made. We've had loads and loads of brilliant bands playing here.
So it looks like the future is bright for Scottish bands, but enough for rock and roll. Next week we'll be looking at opportunities for young filmmakers. Action!
Well, if you'd like to find out anything more about what's been on tonight's programme, or if you've got anything you'd like to have your say on, please log on to our website. That's www.bbc.co.uk/Focus Scotland, or give us a ring on 0141 844 933. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week when hopefully I'll be inside.
We're all aware of the benefits of recycling, but the Scottish Executive has set itself some pretty tough targets last year to try and clean up Scotland. So I'm here in Stirling to try and find out more about the practical workings and see if there's any